What's up, guys? I want to make this video about optimization. I see a lot of people that you fall in the rhythm very, like, a lot of people tend to fall into, like, a very, like, mediocre sort of rhythm. You know, I see a lot of people around the internet, you go to the gym and do your workouts, and 90% of the fucking people around the internet that work out, or 90% of the people like that I see, like, including myself, I work out like regularly, but I look like shit. And I use myself as an example because you know it's just the closest example. um, you see how I organize my inventory? That is like a great way to describe how I feel about optimization and everything like that. When I started my first business, it was a personal training business. You know, like, for example, you see over here, I don't have a potion in my inventory, but I have anti-fire active. I bought some one dose anti-fire potions, for my bank. And I bought some one dose anti-fire potions and some one dose ranging potions. So basically, this conversation about optimization is basically to say that, I don't bring like five food. I bring three food because I never need more than three food. In almost 4 hours of doing this, I've never used more than two food. And if I ever do need more than like three food, then I guess I'll just run to the bank real quick because those occasions are really rather very infrequent. I see this guy over here like slicing up these frost dragons, right? In the time it takes me to kill one frost dragon, this guy kills like fucking, two frost dragons because he's using melee. And frost dragons are naturally strong to range. You guys can see he's doing some serious damage to those to his frost dragons over there compared to me. But to me, this is still a good way to train range because I'm getting 60k XP per hour. To me, 60k XP per hour is like a meta. What else could I possibly kill for range XP? Basically, my mentality is basically in 200 kills, I've achieved 4.3 million GP, right? 4.3 million GP, which is about on par with how much they say um, the average Frost Dragon kill is worth. I've gotten one Dragon Metal Sheet, 30 Dragon Nails, 3 Dragon Nail Drops. I am literally like 1 for 1 on drop rate for fucking everything. Yeah, I went about 20 kills dry on my third pair of dragon nails, but that's not so bad. You know, it's like I've been doing this for a few hours this morning, you know, and I've come to the conclusion that really rather this method really is what they say it is. If this guy is getting like, let's see, I just started to kill my frost dragon over here. He's killing his frost dragon over there. His weapon seems to be a little bit faster than mine. Let's see. Looks like actually we're about the same. He just hit a 50 though. Looks like he's killing his about 30% faster, really. Maybe about 25% faster. Um, Either way, I want to see. Optimization. Like, watch this. Uh, when I made my video guide on how to basically do this, I had a 2 dose ranging potion in my inventory and like a 3 dose anti-fire potion or something like that. Like I had like two inventory spaces full of potions that didn't really need to be there. So I optimized and I started bringing 1 dose. You know, and this is actually such a good method that I configured it this way. I'm not just going to keep training Slayer post 99. Like, I'm still going for 200 mil Slayer in the long run. But I'm not going to keep training Slayer post 99. I'm going to come here to the Frost Dragon so I could make some good money killing Frost Dragons. Um, to train my combat post post after 99 Slayer, because I'm 92 Slayer. Let's see. I'm about to be 99 HP, like really rather soon. Maybe even by the time I get maybe even by the time I get 97 range, I'll be 99 hit points. But that's neither here nor there. Optimization is important because micro improvements make a big difference in the long run. Like the other day, I scoured my bank for GP that I could extract from like different, you know, things, and I found that I had 30 million GP sitting in items that I basically, oh shit. I had 30 million GP sitting in items that I basically I don't know what to do because I killed a frost dragon and I don't have the inventory space. I guess I'm just gonna pick up the rune knives and bury the bones. Fuck it. Um. Okay, so right. So micro improvements over the course of like many micro improvements can make a big difference like in the long run. You know, that's all I really came here to say. Um, like watch this. This is my banking. Bam, 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 bam. Teleport back and kill more frost dragons. When I was killing Vorkath, you know, I optimized a strategy where I was only eating like 4 or 5 food per kill. Micro improvements over time. Some people don't focus on optimization and efficiency. You see, like people. I saw. I don't want to say names because I'm not like a name calling like motherfucker, but let's just say somebody in the YouTube space. I saw them doing something in terms of combat, and they would go and it was basically one of those things where they were banking and they would go and pick up the coins. Like, you know, they might have like 400 coins. Now, think about it. What would you rather have? Like, and they weren't bringing elk runes, right? They weren't bringing elk runes and they were getting alchevals. Now, what would you rather have? Um, an inventory space or 400 GP? If you ask me, I would rather have a fucking inventory space. Would you rather would you bring elk runes so that you could spend less time banking and more time killing shit? Or would you get into the rhythm, a shitty rhythm? You know, you don't want to get into shitty rhythms like that. You know, it seems like a good idea when you're doing it because you get into the rhythm, you know. But optimization, you know, optimization, optimization, optimization. And let's go back to the story that I was talking about earlier. Um, when I started my first business, it was a personal training business. And then I realized that the digital space is a much more efficient, basically, mechanism to sell more shit to more people more frequently. Like, me bringing elk runes is probably going to save me another 1 or 2 inventory spaces. Figuring out the best food to eat on the game saves me like GP like a motherfucker. If I was bringing sharks, is these potato with cheese heals 16 hit points and costs 167 GP each, which is way cheaper than monkfish. It was like 100 GP cheaper than monkfish. Kill this bitch real quick. So optimization, you know, optimization, optimization, you know. I thought I might have gotten a loot from that. It is this guy's loot, but optimization is one of the most important things in life, because if I stayed in that personal training business, which my goal was to become a celebrity influencer, you know, instead I became your local RuneScape nerd, uh, and I also have a business channel as well. So I'm not all bad, you know. But yeah. So my prediction is like if I would have stayed in the fitness space, I may be making like a couple million a year today, tops, like tops, like max. But since I'm in the space that I'm in right now, I make like a minimum of like 50 million a year. So, and the space that I'm in right now is basically if is like kind of like private, but I've talked about it before, but it's kind of like private, you know. I have like a business in the finance industry. I have a business in the yeah, I mean, I have like 11 things going on right now. Starting a drop shipping business. And some idiot is going to have something to say. Like, oh, you get disability, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, you're right, but I also add 50 million onto my net worth every fucking year. I added like 400 million onto my net worth this year. So I'll have you know that. Anyways, optimization, optimization, optimization. I can't say that enough. You don't want to fall into shitty rhythms. You want to choose your rhythms wisely. And that's all I have to say.